Hey, boys and girls, this book is called Introducing Antarctica. Introducing Continents, Antarctica by Anita Ganeri. This is an important feature of nonfiction text. It tells you subjects or chapters that are in the book, and it tells you what pages they're listed on, or what pages they start on. Other important features of nonfiction text is a map. This map shows you the continents of the world, and it shows you where Antarctica is. It's in dark green. It's at the very bottom of the earth. This is a table, another important feature of nonfiction text. And the table gives you quick facts. This table gives you quick facts about Antarctica. The area is about 5,500,000 square miles. It has a population of up to 4,500 visiting scientists. Number of countries, 0. Highest mountain, Vision Massif at 16,067 feet. And the largest lake is Lake Vostok at 6,057 square miles. About Antarctica. A continent is a huge area of land. There are 7 continents on Earth, and this book is about the continent of Antarctica. Antarctica is the 5th biggest continent. Antarctica lies at the southern end of the world. It is covered in thick ice and surrounded by the Southern Ocean. In winter, parts of the ocean freeze over. Famous places. The South Pole is the most famous place in Antarctica. It marks the southern end of Earth. A sign shows the position of the South Pole. Nearby is a U.S. research station. So right here, this pole right here, that is the South Pole. And another feature of nonfiction text that you're going to see are captions that explain what's happening in the picture or who's in the picture. And then labels. Labels will tell you different parts of the picture and what they are. This says the South Pole and is pointing to that little pole right there. And the caption says, the small striped pole shows the position of the South Pole. Mount Erebus is the most southern volcano in the world. Mount Erebus is a mountain on Ross Island in the Ross Sea. It is 12,447 feet high. Mount Erebus is an active volcano. It often erupts, shooting out rocks and steam. Weather. Antarctica is the coldest place on Earth. In winter, the temperature at the South Pole is around negative 76 degrees Fahrenheit. The coldest temperature ever recorded was negative 128.5 degrees Fahrenheit at Vostok Research Station. Antarctica is the coldest and windiest place on Earth. These scientists are battling against a blizzard in Antarctica. Antarctica is also the windiest place in the world. There are often storms called blizzards. Blizzards happen when the wind blasts the snow along. The blowing snow makes it difficult to move or see. Geography. Most of Antarctica is covered in a gigantic sheet of ice. In some places, the ice is 3 miles thick. Glaciers flow very slowly from the ice sheet into the ocean. This is a glacier. This glacier is flowing from the mountains toward the ocean. Icebergs drift on the Southern Ocean around Antarctica. Around Antarctica, huge shelves of ice hang over the ocean. Sometimes chunks of ice break off these ice shelves. They float in the ocean as icebergs. Icebergs also break off from glaciers. The Trans-Antarctic Mountains run right across Antarctica. The tops of the mountains stick up above the ice. Vision Massif is in the Ellsworth Mountains. It is the highest mountain in Antarctica. Vision Massif is 16,067 feet tall. The smooth area shows Lake Vostok deep beneath the ice. Many large lakes are buried under the ice. Lake Vostok is buried under ice that is about 2.5 miles thick. The water in the lake is still liquid. It is millions of years old. Southern Ocean. Antarctica is surrounded by the Southern Ocean. The ocean is very cold and stormy. Strong winds whip the water up into huge waves. There are also smaller seas around the coast. So here's a little map of the Southern Ocean, Antarctica. Sailing the stormy Southern Ocean is difficult and dangerous. An icebreaker is a ship designed for breaking through the frozen ocean. In winter, parts of the Southern Ocean freeze over. The extra ice makes the continent of Antarctica almost twice as big as before. In the summer, the ice melts again. Animals. Despite the cold and wind, some animals live in Antarctica. Emperor penguins breed on the ice in the middle of winter. Penguins have a thick layer of fat under their skin. The fat keeps them warm. These emperor penguins are walking with their chicks on the Antarctic ice. Weddell seals have large eyes for seeing in the dark water. Whales and seals live in the Southern Ocean. Weddell seals live under the ocean ice. They eat fish and squid. They chew holes in the ice so that they can reach the surface to breathe. Other living things. Plants have to be very tough to survive in Antarctica. Lichens are tiny living things that can grow on bare rock. Lichens grow very slowly and can live for thousands of years. Hardy lichens and moss grow on the rocks in Antarctica. Snow algae in Antarctica can turn whole snowfields red. Living things called algae grow on the snow. They color large patches of the snow pinkish red. Their red coloring works like sunscreen. It stops them from getting damaged by the strong sunshine. Natural resources. Each year, thousands of tourists visit Antarctica. They go to see the beautiful scenery and amazing wildlife. The tourists have to follow strict rules such as not leaving litter behind or disturbing the animals. Tourists to Antarctica travel in small boats to see the icebergs. Antarctica has many natural resources such as coal, oil, and minerals. These lie deep under the ice. People are not allowed to mine or drill for them in case they damage Antarctica. This coal was found under the ice in Antarctica. Countries and people. Antarctica is the only continent that does not have its own countries. Today, people from 29 other countries work together to study and look after Antarctica. They include the United States, the United Kingdom, Russia, and Australia. And this research station is run jointly by Italy and France. Scientists send up balloons and equipment to study the weather. Nobody lives in Antarctica all the time, but each year thousands of scientists visit Antarctica for a few months. They study ice, rocks, weather, animals, and plants. Research stations. The scientists live and work in research stations. These are buildings with living quarters, laboratories, offices, garages, and workshops. Many other people, such as cooks and doctors, also live there. In summer, about 70 people live at the Haley Research Station. Scientists' tents are pyramid-shaped to help them stand up to the wind. Scientists also spend time away from the base. They camp in small tents on the ice or in mountains, and sometimes bad weather can trap them inside their tents for days. Explorers. The first person to reach the South Pole was Roald Amundsen. Roald Amundsen from Norway in 1911. He used dogs to pull sleds, and he wore clothes made from wolfskin to keep him warm. Roald Amundsen put up the Norwegian flag on the South Pole. These climbers are exploring Vinson Massif, the highest mountain in Antarctica. People are still exploring Antarctica. They have to train hard to be fit and healthy, and they have radios and use satellites to help keep them in touch and find their way. Fun facts: Antarctica is twice the size of Australia and 1.5 times the size of the United States. The ice over Antarctica is so heavy that the land has sunk under its weight. In Antarctica, in winter, it is almost always dark. In summer, it is light most of the time. And the Lambert Glacier in Antarctica is the biggest glacier in the world. Quiz: who was the first person to reach the South Pole? Which animals breed on the ice in the winter? Which lake is buried underneath the ice? And how many people live on Antarctica all of the time? This is a glossary. The glossary tells you important words that are in the book and gives you their definitions. Active volcano is a mountain with a hole in the top that ash or hot melted rock comes out of. Blizzard, storms with strong winds that blow the snow along. Breed, to have babies. Continent, one of 7 huge areas of land on Earth. A glacier is a very large piece of snow, slow-moving ice. Icebergs, big chunks of ice that break off of glaciers and ice sheets. Laboratories, places where scientists work. Living quarters, places where scientists live. Mine, to dig up from under the ground. Minerals, materials found under the ground. Research station, place where scientists live and work in Antarctica. Satellites, objects in space that can help people find their way. And the South Pole is the most southern place on Earth. If you want to find out more about Antarctica, these are books that you can read to learn more about Antarctica, and these are websites that you can go to if you want to learn more about Antarctica. This is another important feature of nonfiction texts. It is the index. The index tells you important words that are mentioned in the book, and it tells you what pages they are listed on. So if you wanted to find out about blizzards, you would go to page 9. If you wanted to find about ice, that is listed on page 5, 10, 12, 13, 15, 16, 17, and 28. Okay, volcanoes are on page 7. Summer is on page 28. So the index can tell you where to go in the book to get information, specific information. This has been a book called Introducing Antarctica. I hope you liked it.